When I was in my early 30s, my blood pressure readings were considered higher than normal, so I took some steps that reduced it for the long term. So let me explain how I did it. Hi everyone, and welcome to Exercise for Health. I'm Richard, and today I'm going to explain what I did to reduce my blood pressure without any medication after a diagnosis of hypertension. If you're new to this channel, we offer tips, advice and exercises to help you manage your health condition with physical activity. So go ahead and tap the subscribe button below and the bell icon if you want to be notified of when we upload a new video. So during a stressful period in my life, in my early 30s, I was recording blood pressure readings at rest of 150/90 and sometimes higher. I had also put on excessive weight and was well over 100 kilograms or 16 stones. And following conversations with some medical professionals, I made the decision to try and resolve it before they advised me to start medication. As a result, over a 3-month period of sustained lifestyle changes, my blood pressure dropped to average readings of 120/70, and since then it has remained well below the hypertension threshold of 140/90. So what did I do? Well, it was a combination of things, but before I go through them, I will highlight that the changes I made won't necessarily affect everyone in the same way. So although they had a huge impact on my blood pressure, my weight and my overall health, I'm not stating that this is what everyone should do to get the same result. Everyone will respond differently to certain interventions, but I'm hoping that my experience will inspire others to make some changes to their lifestyle to help them control their blood pressure. Firstly, I changed my eating habits. I made a point of eating 3 regular meals throughout the day, with some healthy snacks in between, and ensured that I opted for foods that were low in saturated fat, sugar and salt. I stopped eating processed foods, cut out the crisps, chocolate, cakes and sweet desserts, whilst trying to eat more fruits and vegetables. I also made sure that I drank plenty of water, and on most days this was at least 2 litres. I rarely drink alcoholic beverages and I never smoked, so this didn't need changing. But I did restrict my caffeine intake to just 1 or 2 cups of tea a day. Secondly, I focused on my physical activity levels and fitness. I knew I needed to lose weight as my body mass index, or BMI, was above 30, and this would also help reduce my blood pressure. So I used the gym twice a week using a program that I'll go through in a bit. I also made sure I attended my taekwondo classes twice a week and restarted swimming once a week, which I hadn't done since I stopped competing at the age of 16. I also started to use the car less and walk more, even if that meant parking further away from my destination when I had to use the car, to increase my daily step count, and made a point of getting out of the office and into the gym more at my place of work to chat to staff and customers on the shop floor. When I used the gym myself to work out, I placed an emphasis on improving my cardiovascular fitness whilst maintaining my strength and flexibility that I needed for taekwondo. Therefore, my program was as follows. I started with a warm-up for 8 minutes on a cross trainer using a hill climb program that gradually increased the intensity of the resistance over the time. So by the end of it, my heart rate was about 85% of my theoretical maximum, with an RPE of 8 to 9 on the 0 to 10 modified Borg scale. I followed this up with some intervals on the Concept 2 rower. This would vary depending on how I felt, but a typical workout would have been 10 500-meter rows, maintaining a 1:45 pace with a 1-minute rest between each one. Some people do their cardio exercise towards the end of their workout for improved fat burning. However, for me, it just feels better doing it near the start. After this cardio element, already more than 30 minutes into the workout, I would then do some resistance training. This again varied depending on how I felt, but it would always work every muscle group in the session rather than using split routines, as I was only going to the gym twice a week. I would normally superset compound movements to work big muscle groups to keep my heart rate up, and rarely did any isolated exercises. When performing the supersets, I would quickly move from one exercise to the other and then rest for about a minute before starting the next superset again. These supersets normally included an upper body push and pull exercise, such as the bench press and seated row, 2 big leg exercises such as squats and deadlifts, and then finished with another 2 push and pull upper body exercises such as dips and the lat pull down machine. I would normally adapt the resistance exercises to how I felt, so sometimes I would use fixed resistance machines, sometimes free weights, sometimes my body weight or using the TRX, and sometimes a mixture of all of them. Depending on my energy levels, I occasionally did it as a circuit, so this means 1 set of each of the 6 exercises and then repeating it twice, rather than supersetting 2 muscle groups for 2 or 3 continuous sets. This method created a higher heart rate through the session, as I was using the peripheral heart action method to shunt blood around the body from one exercise to the next. For each exercise, I would aim to get to a point of failure around 10 to 12 reps, or the point where I couldn't complete the exercise with good form anymore. This would finish about 20 minutes of resistance exercises, so for the last 10 minutes I would do some light cardio such as the exercise bike, and then either some core exercises or flexibility work as part of a cool down. This would then complete an hour's workout mixing cardio and resistance training at a relatively high intensity but in an interval format where my heart rate fluctuated between 70 and 90% of my maximum, or feeling around a 7 to a 9 on the 0 to 10 scale. To complement the increase in exercise of 4 to 5 hours of moderate to vigorous physical activity a week, I also placed a bit more emphasis on relaxation in the evenings. As my brain was being stimulated during the day, it was important to me to be able to turn this down. And to do this, I carried out a relaxed stretching routine every evening before I went to bed. Although this passive stretching didn't have any major benefits on my flexibility, the focus of the yoga type practice made a difference to my sleeping patterns and helped reduce my stress levels. I managed to sustain the motivation for maintaining this strict routine for 3 months, as I really did not want to go onto any medication. And by the end, my blood pressure readings were in the ideal range, my weight had come down to 92 kilograms, or about 14.5 stones, and I was feeling much fitter and healthier. My doctor was very pleased, and more importantly, I felt that I was in control of my body again. Since then, I've had some occasional relapses to the lifestyle changes I made, and I wouldn't say I'm as strict as I was, but generally speaking, I've continued the same path. I'm now 47, and although my blood pressure readings fluctuate, they remain ideal most of the time, rarely exceeding 130/80, so I'm pleased that I managed to make some changes as an early intervention to reduce my blood pressure and improve this aspect of my health. I would like to hear from you as to what changes you have made to help reduce your blood pressure for the long term by leaving a comment below. I hope you can take something away from this video today. If so, then please give it a like by clicking the thumbs up button below to help this channel grow so more people can benefit from it. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to stay active, keep moving, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video today, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click here to subscribe to this channel, or click here to watch a recent video. See you soon.